Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As I said in the past, there are several Halloween related stamps that I still have to use, so today I'm back with this Halloween themed love card. So first of all, this adorable stamp set is called My Boo from Paperie Ink and it's just so cute. These ghosts are so adorable, and today I decided to use these two as for this love related, well, Halloween card, or the other way around. I wanted to have some sort of a couple. So I stamped these out, I added the bow on one of them, and then I started coloring. So this paper is Transotype perfect coloring paper, and the coloring is really simple. It's all about flicking. It's all about leaving a slightly wide border um, around the edges, and it's also about the same colors. It's really simple. It's truly really simple. So this is what I did on the first ghost, and you will see exactly the same on the second one. I'm having my shadows on the right side, and then I'm just flicking my way to the other side. So here I just added that edge to guide me, to keep that wide border on the edge, and then I'm going to do some flicking. First BG11, then BG10, and I will end with BG000. And that's what I did. It's as simple as that, truly, and I think it's really, really cute. Also, this card can be made, in my opinion, I was doubting, I must be honest, between this and a pinkish. You can take your really soft pink colors and then you do exactly the same background, but instead of using blues, you use pinks, and then it will go from pink to purple to blue and black. That would be nice, I think. So here I'm stamping out the background, which is really simple. This is all included in this stamp set, and I think it's so cute to do a symmetry on a card this way. I really like it actually. So a new stamp, I don't prep my stamp, so I stamped it out multiple times until I was happy with the darkness of the black and the image being completely transferred onto my paper. And then I stamped it again just to have some sort of guide, because I wanted to have some ink blending on top of, well, above the images, but not underneath. So I needed a mask to prevent that from happening. It's not as easy as just adding some purple tape, because this is shaped. Okay, so I stamped it again really softly. It doesn't have to be perfect, and then I cut this image out so that I could use the half underneath to protect my panel. So I'm just making sure that I'm adding this right, and then I will be using some purple tape just to have my stitching details of this panel preserved. This panel is die cut with the basic rectangles from my elephant, one of those basics that I have, but any basic you have at home will work. I just really like this one because there are stitching details, but many brands have that. So maybe you have another brand that has exactly this gorgeous finishing of a panel, or another sort of finishing that works perfectly. And then we will do some ink blending. So I started really softly on this ink blending, and today I'm using chipped sapphire, peacock feathers, tumbled glass, and I will also use a bit of black soot on the top. But that's only for the second layer of ink blending. So I decided to work from the top towards the bottom, because also my ink was still a bit wet, so I avoided it as long as possible. So just starting with the chipped sapphire. And then I'm trying to get that blend in between. And if it's not working, the first layer that you're adding, that's not an issue at all. We're going back and forth until we like the blend. And then for the bottom, I am using that tumbled glass really softly. I don't even need to go all the way. If I don't get there, that's not an issue at all. And then on top we are adding just that slight border of black soot, and that really deepens all the colors. It's such a difference if you're adding a bit of black soot, even if it's just on the edges of your night sky, of your galaxy. It really helps with emphasizing all those colors that you have. And then I'm just going back and forth, and it took me actually quite a while to be happy about the blend between the chipped sapphire and the peacock feathers, but you just keep going until you like it. And in between, if you want to, you can heat set your panel. That's what I did. It's not needed, but I did it anyway. And then we are going to remove all those masks. And how amazing is that white border? I don't know what else I can do to convince you than to show you this, because I think it's striking. I truly think that. That being said, it's time to decide where to add these cuties. I'm going to use some thin foam squares, and I will use that on both of them. You can also use different adhesives to play a bit more with dimension, but it's a really neat and simple card, so I didn't want to distract with too much dimension or too much layers or anything like that. So I'm just adding it with the same adhesives. And once that's added, I thought, well, Lynn, now you forgot about the splashing. Because I was so excited about the ink blending that I wanted to show you the end result of the ink blending, that I removed all the masks, and I wasn't going to add it again to be able to splatter with some white gouache and then add the images. So I added the images I couldn't return now. So I took that white jelly roll pen and I started on adding stars and bigger stars and scattering it a bit. It's definitely more work and it takes a longer time. But at the same time you have complete control, and it is a really simple card, and I was really happy at the end that I didn't overload it with gouache that is going to splatter everywhere. So it's actually more subtle now, and I like it. Not that I'm going to do this all the time, because call me lazy. I prefer the amount of time that I need for splashing over this, but well, from time to time it will be worth the effort. So I made sure to add a few bigger stars and then just some dots in between, some bigger, some smaller, to vary a bit. You could do a shooting star, anything goes. And that's actually what I did until I was happy. And then I added this panel on top of a card base. So what do you think? Adding the stars yourself or prefer splattering? Because I am really curious. I think that a lot of people add these or do a mix of them. That would also be genius. Just splatter, and then if you want some bigger stars, then you can add them manually. I don't know. I think that could be genius as well. So I'm almost done adding all the stars. I had to contemplate a bit to not overload it, but I'm really glad with the end result. So that being said, I'm going to add this panel on top of that card base just using some Pritt adhesive roller. I prefer using an adhesive roller because in the past I used liquid glue and it came through the panel that I made at that moment, and I was so frustrated because I didn't like the card anymore. I saw all the stripes from the liquid glue. So just to avoid that, I am since then always adding it using adhesive roller whenever I can. It's not always the case, I must admit, but just to be sure. And then I decided to add just one heart. I decided for two, but no. One heart from the black licorice heart sprinkle mix next to the sentiment, and then this card is completely finished. So really simple, but I think a really striking card, and I hope you think the same. If you like this card, you can always give this video a thumbs up. I would truly appreciate it. I want to thank you all for stopping by, and I wish you an incredible day, and I will be back soon with some new crafting inspiration. Bye!